today. We're going to get started in a comfortable seated position. So just taking a moment to feel the sits bones rooted down into the earth. Starting to orient yourself consciously, intentionally, wherever you are in space and time here. So just sitting down onto the earth or whatever prop you're using, making sure that your sits bones are connected down into the earth, allowing the spine to lengthen. You can draw the shoulders back and down a few times if that feels good, getting a little bit of movement into the shoulder blades. With the spine long, ever so slightly tucking the chin in towards the chest, creating some length into the back of the neck. And again, ever so subtly feeling the crown of your head extending upwards as if it's being drawn up by a string. And as you start to arrive into a point of stillness, hands can rest anywhere where they feel comfortable. I'm just going to take a few moments here to breathe together. So with an inhale, we're going to fill up the belly all the way, filling up through the belly, chest, lungs. Pausing at the top for a moment. Opening the mouth, exhale, side out. Releasing our day with an inhale, filling up through the lungs and the chest. Suspend the breath, releasing anything we've experienced thus far today, anything that's yet to come. Exhale, let it out. One more big one. Inhale, filling up through the lungs, belly, chest, shoulder blades. Suspending the breath, lengthening through the spine, softening the gaze of the eyes, making a sound. Exhale, let it go. As you come on empty, allowing the breath to flow freely here for a few moments. So here at the beginning of class, before we start to add on any movements, just taking a moment to check in with yourself. Physically, emotionally, mentally, noticing any places within the body that could use a little bit more love and attention today. Always remembering that our yoga practice is a cultivation of the interconnection with ourselves. And always remembering that this is our unique practice to be modified as needed. And allowing ourselves the opportunity to be present with the breath, to be present with our physical body, to be present with whatever arises and falls away throughout our experience, and in the process, coming home to ourselves, to that connection within. Just always remembering that your breath can serve as your anchor point. You can always come back to the breath if the mind ever starts to wander, or thoughts start coming in or out. Allow the flow of your breath to be the space that you return to. And as you feel into the natural flow of your breath, placing one hand on your heart here, just taking a moment to feel, again, that internal connection to yourself. Feeling your own unique heartbeat here. Not thinking any, just allowing ourselves to feel into that sensation of what it's like to have a living, beating heart. As we settle into that connection, feel free to set an intention for your practice today. Feel free to set an intention for the remainder of your day, the remainder of your week. Whatever it is that you're seeking to cultivate in your practice, in your life, and whatever it is that you do. Carrying that intention, carrying that connection with you throughout your practice, releasing it and just allowing it to integrate into our beings, taking a full breath into that. So again, as we start to add some movement into our practice, always modify as needed, listening to your body, knowing that you can always come back to child's pose whenever you need rest, and at the same time being open and willing to ride through the waves of the practice, just always being attentive of the quality of the breath, keeping the breath smooth and deep as best as possible. So as you're ready to do so, we'll transition into our child's pose. You can keep the eyes open or closed. So coming out to the hands and knees, we're going to bring the big toes together at the back of the mat, opening the knees. Actually, we're going to do a closed-legged child's pose. So keeping the thighs together, resting the sits bones back towards the heels, allowing the forehead to melt down into the earth. And just to start, we can bring the hands down by our side, palms facing up. So just breathing into this posture. Feeling yourself, just noticing this child's pose coming into a sort of an embryonic posture, in the sense that the shape of this pose just really feels like coming back home, in a sense of who we were, what we were like before we came into this world, or a place of hibernation, a place of returning to our pure beingness. So just remembering that this is a pose that you can always come back to throughout your practice whenever you need time to connect with yourself.
And from this 0 point, from the starting point, we will start to add a little bit of movement. So as you're ready to do so, starting to walk the hands forward and in front, creating some length through the arms. Continuing to breathe into the belly. Continuing with your yogic belly breathing or with your Ujjayi pranayama. Slowly starting to roll yourself up one vertebra at a time, finding your way into tabletop pose. In tabletop, make sure that the wrists are under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Spreading the fingers of the hands wide, making sure that the middle fingers are parallel to one another. Actively pressing into the big thumb, the index finger, and the middle finger. Also feeling support of the last two fingers. Shoulders on top of the wrists, hips on top of the knees. With an inhale, we're going to bring the belly down, gazing up. Exhale, rounding the back, coming into cat. Inhaling the belly down, gazing up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the back. Continuing with a few more here at your own pace. Moving through your cat-cows as fast or as slow as you'd like. Perhaps depending on how open and fluid your spine feels at this moment. Perhaps also influenced by your breath. Taking a few more cat-cows here. Noticing the anchor points onto the earth with the hands, knees, toes. Starting to open through the front of the chest, back of the shoulders. And then taking your last few cat-cows, or you could bring it into a barrel roll, taking more of a circular movement with the spine. Whatever feels natural to you here, whatever feels fluid, whatever feels good, allow your practice to feel good inside your body. And then if you're taking those barrel rolls, switching directions, really consciously breathing into whatever points of tension you have within the body, using the breath to dissolve and create space, and eventually finding your way into a steady tabletop here. Just making sure again that the wrists are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. We're going to take a slight little shoulder opener just for a moment here. So with an inhale, we're going to extend the right arm out to a T, and then as we exhale, we're going to thread the right arm through as we lower the right side of the face down to the earth. Right away, breathing into the right shoulder. Staying here, or you have the option of stepping the left foot out towards the left side, parallel to the right hand. Breathing into that left inner thigh, waking up the body. Send full, juicy breaths here. And then last variation for this, you can also, if you'd like, take the left hand back and around, reaching for the right inner thigh here. getting a little bit of a shoulder opener as well. Stay grounded, stay connected to all the sensations within the body, to the breath. And then on your own time, slowly coming out, releasing the left hand. If you took the bind, walking the left foot in, unthreading the right shoulder. And just take a little bit of a movement from side to side here. And switching sides with an inhale, left arm extends out to a T. As you exhale, threading the left arm through, lowering the left side of the face onto the earth. Stretch and breathe into the left shoulder. If you did on the other side, right foot can step out towards the right, parallel to the left hand, pressing the sole of the foot into the earth if you took the variation. And if you did on the other side, right hand can reach back for the left inner thigh. Actively spin that right shoulder open if you're taking that half bind. Breathe into the belly, breathe into the heart, into the chest. And slowly releasing the right hand down, stepping the right foot in, unthreading the left arm, coming back to your tabletop, little swivel from side to side. Beautiful. Starting to build a little bit of heat here now. We're going to bring the palms facing down, fingers towards yourself, with a little bit in the elbows, start rocking forward and back here. Again, notice all the sensations. Notice the space you're creating in the wrists. Breathe into whatever lingering tension may be present. And then releasing that, hands can return forward. We're going to come into a plank pose now. In this plank pose, you have two options. You can either keep the fingers facing forward and tuck the toes under, coming into your regular plank, or if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can bring the palms facing down, fingers towards yourself, to get a little bit more into a wrist stretch. So whatever variation you'd like, feel free to go into that here. I'll go ahead and demonstrate the one with the fingers facing towards yourself for this time. Wherever you are, actively press the palms into the earth, slightly rounding through the upper back. Lengthen the spine, activate through the quads, activate through the legs. Extend the heels back. Breathe. Feel the core. Activate so much so that you feel your belly button kissing towards your spine. So sucking, pressing inwards. Core is engaged. Take another full breath here. And another full breath out. Beautiful. On your own time now, slowly start to bring the knees to hover 6 inches off the mat. Keep the spine long. Tuck the tailbone under here. Maybe it brings a little bit of a shake within the body. Your core is really active here. We're just starting to wake up our energy centers. Stay another breath. For 3. Engage the quads. For 2. Hover the knees just an inch off the mat. For 1. Round through the upper back, upper shoulders. And release the knees down. If you had the fingers facing towards yourself, gently peel the hands off. Either way will peel the hands off.
Coming to sit on the tops of our ankles, lengthening through the spine, lifting through the chest. Shoulders roll back and down. And just starting to open and close the hands here. In and out of some fists. Re-inviting some movement into the fingers, warming up through the fingers. And then start to make that just a little bit faster here. Open, close, open, close. Breathe into your fingertips as best as you can. Beautiful. And then from here, we're just going to interlace the fingers in front of the heart. And then we're going to draw some figure eights or infinity signs. Inviting some movement into the wrists. And then switch directions here. Stay present with sensations, with the actions of the body. And then releasing that, shake it out side to side. Front and back. Beautiful. Now from here, bringing the hands forward again. We're going to tuck the toes under, finding our way into our plank pose just for a moment. And then from your plank, we're going to roll back into our downward facing dog. So first down dog of the day. We won't be here for all too long this time around. Just take a moment to pedal the feet, wiggle the body, inviting super small movements. Then with our next inhale, we're going to roll ourselves forward into our plank pose. And again, shoulders over wrists, hands are pressing down into the earth. Core is active here, really waking up the core center. Now you're pressing into your hands so much so that you're slightly rounding through the upper back. Keep the back of the neck long. Equally distribute the weight into the feet. Now we're going to hold this for a few moments. Or, optional, you can tap the right shoulder to the left. Right hand to the left shoulder. And then release that down. Switching sides, left hand to the right shoulder. And release that down. If you're taking the shoulder taps, you can try opening your feet a little bit wider for more support. And again, right hand, left shoulder. Release down. Switch, left hand, right shoulder, release down. Continue on your own here for a few more reps. Right hand, left shoulder, left hand, right shoulder. If you're still in your plank, stay with it. Last few breaths here. And if you're taking the shoulder taps, see if you can minimize the swaying movement. Try to keep everything still. The only thing that is moving is the hands onto the shoulders. That's how engaged and solid you want to be in your core. And if you're not there today, that's okay. We're working on it. If you're doing the shoulder taps, last one on each side. And then we'll all be back in our plank pose. With an inhale, roll yourself forward, shoulders over and a little bit in front of the wrists. And as you exhale, super slow motion, we're going to lower our way down onto the belly. Go as slow as you can. Use your strength. Steady the breath. Steady the mind. And melt your way, find your way down onto the earth. On your own time here. Right away, getting into our locust pose. We're going to point the feet back. Toes point straight behind you. Feet come in towards the center. Zipper your legs up. Engage through your low back. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Notice which thumb is on top. Lengthen the back of the neck. Gaze a little bit down and in front. Then with your next inhale, lift the feet. Lift the upper half of the body. Engage the core, engage the low back. Engage the low back, stretching the core. Squeeze the back of the shoulder blades together. Open up through that front of the sternum. Open up through the front of the heart. Point
back through the toes, engage the legs. Send some breath here. Full breathing. And then releasing the interlace of the fingers. Keep drawing the shoulders back and down. Feel your shoulder blades kiss together towards the midline as they roll back and down. And then reconnect the hands, opposite thumb on top. Stay with it. Maybe lift a little higher for these last 2 breaths. Deepest breath yet. And then release the hands under the shoulders. Gently release the tops of the feet down onto the earth. With an inhale, roll yourself up into a baby cobra. Try to go without the strength of the arms. And then exhale, release down. Feel the spine lengthen here. With an inhale, roll yourself up. Open through the sternum, right in the middle of your chest. Exhale, release down. Last one. Inhale, roll yourself up. Open up that front of the heart. Draw the shoulder blades back together, and then as you exhale, release down. Transitioning into a full cobra or upward facing dog. With an inhale, find your way into the back bend of your choice. And then as you exhale, stay here for a breath. Once again, inhale here in your back bend. And then exhale, tuck the toes, hips come back, downward facing dog. Just notice the difference here, starting to activate more and more of the body. Again, pedal at the feet. Take whatever wiggles are necessary. We'll continue with some movement, transitioning into our Surya Namaskars, sun salutations. Before we do that, we're going to settle into our downward facing dog. So finding some stillness in your downward facing dog. You can always bring a little bend in the knees if you need to. Making sure that we're plugging in the femur into the hip socket. We're going to press down into the right foot and lift that left foot to hover just an inch off the mat. Feel your femur bone, your thigh bone, plugging into the hip socket. And then lower that left foot down. Switch sides. Press into the left foot. Right foot hovers just an inch off the mat. So subtle, yet so important here. Feel the femur plug into the hip socket. One more each side. Press into right foot. Left foot hovers just an inch. And release that down. Left foot presses into the earth. Right foot hovers just an inch. And release that down. Walking our way forward now, or gazing forward, we're going to start walking our way up towards the front of the mat. If you want a little bit more, you can practice walking with keeping that engagement of the femur into the hip socket. Beautiful. Once you find your way into your forward fold, just give yourself a moment to breathe. Feet can be hips distance apart. You can grab a hold of the elbows, if you'd like. You can sway from side to side, front and back. And just honoring, as we continue to wiggle here, allow the upper body to continue melting. Just noticing right away, just starting to notice any subtle shifts within our practices as we welcome in the new season, as we enter into autumn, into fall. Just noticing how the shifts in our external environment start to modify what our physical body, what we need internally to feel, ideally in harmony, in balance, and in presence with the world. Our practice is always changing. Alrighty, enough of this forward fold here. As we transition, releasing the hands down into the earth, you can add a little bit of a bounce if you want. Add a little bit of movement here. Releasing any pressure built up within the discs. And then with an inhale, we're going to come up halfway, flat back, lengthen spine. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Again, inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, melt, fold. Last one here. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins, lengthen the crown of the head. Exhale, fold. With an inhale, we're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time, stacking the spine on top of itself. Then with an inhale, reach the hands up, gaze comes up. Exhale, hands to prayer in front of the heart. And then hands down by your side, Samastiti. Surya Namaskar A. With an inhale, reach the hands up. Gaze up. Exhale, hinge and fold, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back, plank pose. I'm just adding a little bit of heat in this variation. Inhale, roll forward, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, roll yourself back, heels back. Again, inhale, roll yourself forward, as far forward as you can, stretching into the wrists. Exhale, roll your way back. As we inhale, roll forward, shoulders over wrists. Then with an exhale, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. With an inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, hips back and up. Downward facing dog. While we're here, inhale, right leg up, three-legged dog, and start to draw some hip circles here. Inviting some movement into that hip joint. Switching direction of your circles. Keeping the hands firmly planted into the feet. Start to stack the right hip on top of the left here, like you're trying to kick your butt with your right leg. And you can invite some ankle circles, some ankle rotations. And then switch directions. From here, rise up high onto that left toes, and then step that right foot all the way back, coming into our wild thing here. Press into that left hand. Stretch into the left chest here. Inhaling, finding your way back into three-legged dog. And then exhale, we're going to Vinyasa once more here. So rolling forward, exhaling chaturanga. Inhaling upward dog or cobra, open the heart. Exhale, hips back. Downward facing dog. Switching sides. Inhale, left leg up, three-legged dog. And take some hip circles here. Stay present with the sensations in the hands, in the foot. And switch the direction of your circles. Beautiful, then re-extending through that left leg. Stack the left hip on top of the right. Take some ankle circles on this side. Notice the stretch in the left side of your body. Breathe into that. And switching directions. And then stepping that left foot all the way back. Coming into your wild thing. Elevate through the hips. Press the right hand into the earth. Lift up. Beautiful. With an inhale, meeting back in three-legged dog. And then as we exhale, roll forward into your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, hips back and up, down dog. Beautiful, take a breath here. To reset. Now with your next inhale, gazing forward. As we exhale, step, hop, or float your way up towards the front. Forward fold at the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up, stack the spine on top of itself. Reach up, gaze up, maybe slight back bend. Exhale, hands to prayer in front of the heart. Continuing with an inhale, hands reach up, gaze up. Exhale, hinge into your forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift, extend through the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, walk the feet back, plank pose. Inhale, roll yourself forward, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhaling up, dog or cobra. Exhale, hips back, down dog. With an inhale, let's extend that right leg up, three-legged dog. And then as we exhale, let's draw that right knee in towards the chest. Round through the upper back. Maybe the knee connects with the nose. And again, inhale, extend, right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, we're going to bring the right knee towards the right elbow. Squeeze and hold it here. Draw that right heel towards the bottom of the thigh. Slide the knee up as high as you can. Engage through the core. Press the hands into the earth. Really working here. And then inhale, re-extend, right leg up. You're doing great. Exhale, across. Right knee, left elbow. Squeeze and hold here. Do the best you can. Remember to breathe. And then if you can, slide that right knee up towards the left armpit. Shakes are welcome. You got this. And then with an inhale, re-extend. Last time, right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee in towards chest. Ever so slightly, gently step the right foot through. Plant the right foot. Lower the left knee. Toes can stay tucked or they can untuck. And then as you inhale, rise on up here. Low crescent lunge. You can interlace the fingers and place the fingers on top of the right thigh. Really working in our posture here. Make sure that the right foot is active. Engage through the right thigh. Also feel the left foot active. Engaging through the left quad. Draw that consciously, draw the right hip back. As you draw the left hip forward, the thighs are scissoring in towards the middle. Lengthen through the spine. Draw the shoulders back and down. Lift that sternum, lift your chest bone, lift your heart just a little bit more here. Shine your heart open here. Allow its radiance to flow. Feel the space between the shoulders and the ears. And then release the interlace of the fingers. As you inhale, extend the arms up. See if you can grow a little bit taller in the spine as you reach the fingertips up. You should feel the legs working here. I know I am. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, release the hands down. Step the right foot back, flow through your vinyasa. Regular vinyasa or the right foot can hover. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling up dog cobra. And we'll meet back in our downward facing dog. Take a little moment here, reset. Steady in the breath. Feel the hands connecting, feet grounding. With an inhale, lift the left leg up, three-legged dog now. And as you exhale, draw the left knee in towards the chest. And then as you bring the heel, the left heel, towards your bottom of your left thigh, see if maybe the knee can come a little bit closer in towards the chin, or maybe even towards the nose. Support yourself with the hands. Breathe into the back of your upper back. With an inhale, re-extend, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Squeeze and hold here, steady the gaze. On that left elbow. Breathe into that. Keep it here or slide it on up as high as you can. We're almost through. Breathe through the heat. Add some oxygen into the fire. And then as you inhale, re-extend, three-legged dog. And then exhale, across, left knee, right elbow. Engage the core. Press the hands into the earth. Condense into a little ball. Draw the left knee a little higher perhaps. And as you inhale, extend. Left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the left foot through ever so mindfully. Release the right knee. Untuck the right toes, or you can keep them tucked. Rise on up. Ever so slightly, so slowly into your low crescent lunge. Settling into your low crescent lunge on the second side. Feel that the left ankle is directly under the left knee. Spread the toes of that left foot wide. Draw the left hip back as you draw the right hip forward. Feel the low back, your sacrum lengthen. Pay attention to that back foot too, just making sure that the knee, right knee is pressing down, top of the right foot pressing down. Lengthening through the spine, elevating through the chest, shoulders drawing back and down, chin in towards the chest, ever so slightly, Jalandhara Bandha. Then with an inhale, hands can reach up. Keep pressing the low half into the earth. Keep reaching the arms, the fingertips upwards here. One more inhale, you can take a slight little back bend here, engage the core. With an exhale, release the hands down. Step that left foot back. As you flow through your vinyasa here, you can keep that left foot hovering if you like, if it brings you joy. As you flow through your upward facing dog and your downward facing dog. Take a breath. And then with an inhale, bring the gaze forward. As we exhale, step, hop, or float your way up towards the front, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, melt and fold. Inhale, roll yourself up, one vertebrae at a time. Hands reach out. Exhale, hands to prayer in front of the heart. One more standing sequence. With an inhale, reach the hands up, gaze up, slight back bend perhaps. Exhale, hinge and fold down towards the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, create length in the spine. Exhale, step back into your plank pose. Inhale, roll yourself forward, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, chaturanga. Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, hips back, down on dog. Take a breath. With our next inhale, reach that right leg up, three-legged dog. And then again, as we exhale, right knee towards right elbow this time. And then slide it up towards the armpit. Get it up as high as you can. What we're focusing on here is pressing the hands into the earth, rounding through the upper back, squeeze out, wring out any tension from the upper back, engage the core, lift that right heel towards your right thigh, squeeze, and then with an inhale, extend, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, step the right foot through, and we're going to frame the hands setting up for our high crescent lunge. So just make sure that the feet are hips distance apart, right knee is over the right ankle, lengthen through the spine, draw the shoulders away from the ears, right hip draws back as the left hip draws forward, and now using the strength of your legs, start minimizing the weight on the fingers, working through the low half of the body. Maybe the fingers start to hover. Keep the spine long. Draw the fingers back and away, squeezing the back of the shoulder blades together, just like we did earlier when we were on our belly. Keep the back of the neck long. Tuck the chin in towards the chest. And then on your own time, inhale, roll your way up. Reach the hands up. High crescent lunge. With an inhale, open the arms out wide. Open your heart like you're giving someone a really big hug. And then with an exhale, revolve towards the right. Scissor the thighs. Keep the spine long. Slowly make your gaze back to the right or towards the right thumb. Keep the focus on the legs though. Staying here, or right hand can reach back for the left, back of the left thigh. You can reverse through the left hand, get a little stretch on that left side body. And then with an inhale, rise back up, high crescent lunge. And then with an exhale, release the hands down. Let's straighten through that right leg for just a moment, getting a little bit into the hamstrings. You can come onto the heel of that right foot. Spread the toes, flex the toes towards your forehead. And then lower the right heel back down. Keep that right leg straight. Left hand can plant on the inside of the right foot as you revolve over towards your right side. Keep scissoring the legs here. Left hand is only supporting. Now, do your best to not dump too much weight on it. Feel the stretch in the right thigh, outer right thigh. Right hand can reach back for the left inner thigh, or it can reach up towards the ceiling. Take another breath here. And then release the hands down. Step that right foot back as you flow through your Vinyasa here, ever so mindfully and for the present. Meeting back and down dog. We got one more side. Last little bit of effort here. With an inhale, reach that right leg up, three-legged dog. With an exhale, left knee towards left elbow. Squeeze and hold. Prep the body. Press the hands into the earth. Strong through the shoulders, strong through the core. Draw that left knee up a little bit higher if you can. Reach that left heel back towards the bottom of the left thigh like you're trying to kick your butt. Round through the upper back. Engage the abdomen, suck the belly in. Beautiful, and inhale. Reach the left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Stepping the left foot through. Taking a moment, making sure that the feet are hips distance apart. You're almost there. Spread Use the hands for support here. Start waking up into the legs. Start engaging through the legs here. Feel the left foot pressing into the earth, right toe supporting. Engage that left quad. And as you start to create some length within the spine, start to become a little bit lighter on the fingers. Keep the back of the neck long. And as you start to float the fingers on your own time, start drawing the hands back and away. Creating length through the spine, drawing the shoulder blades together behind your back. Just like when we were on our belly. Create length between the ears and the shoulders. And then with an inhale, reach the hands up, rise up into your high crescent lunge. And exhale here. Last little bit. Inhale, open up your arms wide like you're about to give the biggest hug in the world. And then as you exhale, revolve towards the left here. Keep scissoring the thighs together. Breathe into that left outer hip. Spine long. Gazing to the left or back to the left thumb. Nice little twist in the spine as well, so juicy. Steady the breath. Maybe left hand back of right thigh. Maybe reverse the right hand. Stretch into the left side body. And then with an inhale, reach the hands up. As you exhale, hands come down towards the earth. Straighten through that left leg and then maybe coming onto that left heel. Keep the spine long, chest open. Spreading the toes of that left foot wide. Draw the toes towards your forehead. Breathe into the back of the left leg. And then releasing that left foot, sole of the foot down towards the earth. Right hand can plant on the inside of the left foot. And then revolve your way over towards the left here. Left hip draws back as the right hip draws forward. Keep the spine long. Breathing into the left outer hip. Again, notice if you're dumping a lot of weight into that right hand. Sometimes, we can do that. But we really want to bring awareness to that and see if we can use the strength of our legs and just minimize the weight on that right hand, using it more so for support. In our last few breaths here, left hand can keep facing up, pointing up, or you can reach it back for the right inner thigh. Deep belly breath here. Maybe you feel your belly pressing against your thigh. Beautiful. Releasing that left hand down. Left foot comes back as you flow through your vinyasa here. Last one of class. 60 minutes can go by so quickly, but we're doing our best here. Settling into your down dog. Taking a breath. Then we're going to come down into the earth. So stepping the feet forward. Come to sit on your butt. And we're going to come lay on our backs. So we're just going to go into our inversion here. We're going to come into shoulder stand plow pose. So we're going to start off by bringing the feet, the soles of the feet facing up towards the ceiling. You can either stay here in this inversion, or you can come into your plow pose, allowing the tops of the feet to come overhead. Make sure you can still breathe here. You don't want to turn the neck to either side, so keep facing upwards, gazing upwards. Hands can come palms face down on top of the thighs, or you can interlace the fingers behind the back. Steady the breath. A few more breaths here. And even though our 60 minutes kind of goes by pretty quick,
Hopefully you're sweating. I know I'm sweating, even though we moved a little bit slower today. Still bringing so much intention into each movement. And taking your last breath or two in your plow pose. And then as you come out, you can, if shoulder stands in your practice, you can take a little intermission in your shoulder stand, pointing up through the toes, toes directly over the eyes, supporting your low, mid, or upper back with the hands. Breathe into the body here. And then ever so slightly, or ever so controlled, lower down, one vertebra at a time, with the soles of the feet onto the earth. Closing out with a little twist here. We're going to let the knees fall towards the right, left arm out to a T, gazing over the left shoulder. You can start closing the eyes here, settling back into your breath. The right hand can rest on top of the left thigh or on the belly. Let it all slow down. And then switching sides. Knees fall towards the left. Right arm comes out to the side, gazing over the right shoulder. Closing the eyes. Relaxing the jaw. Left hand on top of the thigh or on the belly. Then allowing the knees to come back towards the middle. Taking any final pose before Shavasana, a little happy baby, or hugging the knees into the chest. And as you're ready to do so, settling into your Shavasana, taking up as much space as you'd like on your mat. Allowing the breath to flow naturally here. And as we're down to the last few moments of our class, just allowing yourself, Instagram only allows 60 minutes of our practice, so that's about to run out, but in staying in your Shavasana as long as you can. And once this video ends, I will restart it just for the Shavasana portion of the class. For those of you that are still in Shavasana,
Just allowing yourself to get really comfortable. Taking the feet out wide. Taking the arms by your side. Allowing yourself to be in a space where you are fully present and receptive. If you feel like you need a little bit more safety and comfort, you can always bring a hand onto the heart, a hand onto the belly. Otherwise, just melting onto the earth. Allowing the belly to naturally rise and fall. And feeling the breath circulate in the belly, and even making its way up into the heart. Making its way all throughout the body here. Allowing the breath, the oxygen, and the prana, the energy that we cultivated here, to flow freely, to flow naturally, all throughout the body, nourishing the entirety of our being here. And just noticing if you can soften through the jaw a little bit more. You can release through the tongue. If you can soften through the eyes. Allow the eyeballs to rest effortlessly and naturally in their eye sockets. Continuing to allow the breath to flow in and out of the body for a few more moments here. Noticing the breath flow in and out of the nostrils. And as you continue to immerse yourself in the present moment, slowly start to invite breath back into the physical body. Inviting some small movements into the fingertips, into the toe tips, gently awakening here. And maybe bringing that into some wrist circles, ankle circles. Reaching the arms maybe overhead, feet out in front, taking a full body stretch, lengthening through both sides. And keeping the eyes closed, gently rolling onto either side, using the bottom arm as a pillow here, resting for a moment. And then pressing yourself up ever so slowly, mindfully, one vertebra at a time. Keep the eyes closed. Internalizing our awareness for these last few moments. Find your way back into a seated position here. And in the seated posture, feel the sits bones rooting into the earth. Feel yourself perhaps sitting a little bit taller. And allow the arms and the hands to rest anywhere that's meaningful or anywhere that's natural to you. Just noticing any subtle shifts within yourself from the beginning of your practice. Noticing any shifts in the quality of your being. Just expressing gratitude for the transitions. We'll go ahead and we'll bring the hands to prayer in front of the heart. Lifting up through the chest a little bit. Shoulders rolling back and down. And with the hands in prayer in front of the heart, gently bowing the chin in towards your fingertips. And then returning it back. Just taking a moment to feel into the gratitude that you have towards yourself for making the time out of your day, to step on your mat, to practice, to breathe, to flow, maybe to sweat. And just expressing a lot of gratitude for the opportunity to lead you and to guide you in this flow. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for the practice. The highest light in me sees the highest light in each and every one of you. We close out with Namaste. And you can continue to keep the eyes closed if you're really feeling the internalization of your energy. This is a great opportunity to transition right into meditation. Our yoga asanas are designed to prepare the physical body for seated meditation. Or just allow yourself to be here now. And as you're ready to do so, gently, when you invite light and the external world back into your vision, what really helps is rubbing the hands together in front of the heart, generating some heat, and then cupping the hands over the eyes, bringing a little bit of warmth, and then opening the eyes inside the hands, and then ever so slowly re-inviting light and the external world into your consciousness. So thank you for this practice. Thank you for your presence. And yeah, feel free to leave some feedback. Let me know how it went. Make sure to drink lots of water, flushing out all the toxins that we moved. And yeah, I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.